Good morning, everybody. Today is January 9th, 2018. We're through the first week of this brand new year. I'm so excited for this morning. Welcome to today's Profit in Your PJs. If this is the first time you're on, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you that are here every week, it's great to see you guys back again. We do this every single Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And it does get recorded. It gets recorded and it gets put up on my YouTube channel, which is Anna Camp. You can find it, you can subscribe to it, and then you never miss one. We have lots of announcements and a quick recap from last week. I want to get into that just briefly here. But before that, let's go through a couple things that are super important for today and for what's happening and pertinent in our business here at Nerium. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and in just a second, as soon as it allows me to. Well, goodness gracious. Technical difficulty. Aha, there we go. So, there, yay, ta-da. Profit in your PJs. And again, thanks for jumping on it, everybody, and for the patience and getting the technical part squared around. We have some quick announcements, super important. This is front and center this week, just a couple of days away. Spotlight 2018, January 13th, this weekend. And in most cities, it's from 10 in the morning till 6. Some are abbreviated just because they don't have the location long enough. People have been asking about that. So some will end a little bit earlier than 6, but it will be full day, absolutely power-packed, great announcements, amazing new training, awesome new content. So it's a great time to come together. If you haven't already gotten your ticket to Spotlight, please make sure you go. Those that go to events are really some of the biggest income earners in this industry. I'm going to talk about that too in a couple of minutes. While we're talking about events, I do want to remind everybody that the Epic Bash, which is coming up right around the corner next month, a little over a month away, is in Dallas, Texas, February 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And for people that have been asking, there is nothing going on Sunday. That's a travel day. The Westin is almost sold out. They were closing the rooms as of Monday. I asked that they hold it open so I could have one last chance to promote it for those of you guys who've not gotten a room yet. So this is going to be an incredible event. You absolutely want to be there. And we do need some volunteers. So if you or anyone on your team wants to volunteer to help out with this epic event, we would love to have you. Many hands make work light. So you definitely want to grab your Epic ticket for sure. You can get that on epiclifestyle.com. Just right up at the top, click on the 2018 Bash. You can get your tickets, and you can actually get your hotel room through that as well. So this block will be over and out after tomorrow. So we have till the end of tomorrow to get that done. So if you don't have a room, grab one. If anyone on your team doesn't have one, you want to get one before they're sold out. Okay, moving right along, talking about promoting today and promoting events. And this is our great run right now. We have an awesome promotion. It is absolutely go time. And I love how the company puts these great promotions in place to really help us run. So 3 brand partners gets you this great electronic pack that has everything that you need in it to travel, all your cords, your electronics, battery chargers, the list goes on and on. I love the handy little carrying case it comes in. I'm definitely going for this one myself. And the GoPro camera. And I cannot say enough great things about this GoPro camera, right? This one, you guys want to go for this whole entire thing. You want to definitely go for this GoPro camera because the more pictures that you can take, the more videos you can take, the more footage you can take, the more you can promote your lifestyle and the amazing life that this company can create for us, the more the marketing strategy for you, right? Because people are watching what you're doing. And we're talking about promoting today. There is nothing to promote without a promotion. So this is the promotion that we're promoting. So, you know, it's not just about you. And I say that all the time. This is about duplication. So your team There'll be people on your team that you'll find don't even know about this because they haven't been plugged in, and the only way for them to know is to call through. Find out who's running. Are you running for this promotion? Is this something that you want? Is the Grow Pro for you? And so they will be running for it the same as you. So a quick recap. We started this now. This is our 7th week in a row. The first week we started with a segment on finding prospects. And if you haven't seen any of these, you can go right back to my YouTube channel On a Camp, and you can get the recap on all of these. You can actually forward right through the video, through the announcements that we do first off, and you can get right into the content and get into the meat of each of these trainings. So we talked about finding prospects, different ways that you can go out and find prospects, right? We talked about how you can do that through Facebook, how you do that through your war market, how you can do it through events, how you can do it through your school groups, your kids' school groups, how many different ways that you can go out and find prospects. It's a great recap to go back and see and really build that list. We talked about how to invite people, how to promote the events that we have and really invite people to the market party, to real results parties, etc. The best ways to invite. We then talked about presenting and how to go about presenting the information to your prospects, right? And whether you're someone who eventually wants to get up in front of the room and present to lots of people like you see here, or you just want to learn how to present one-on-one, or how you can use the tools to present the information for you. We talked a lot about that. We talked about following up and how that's really where the fortune is, and how people stop after the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th time that they're following up with people. And some of that comes from fear, and how you can overcome your fear in that follow-up process, and why that follow-up process is so important. I've followed up with people for 3 months, 4 months, 10 months, 18 months, and longer. Some people I'm still following up with from now almost 6 years in this business. So definitely the fortune is right there in the follow-up. We talked at the last week of the month between Christmas and New Year's. It was just the perfect timing for this segment, which was closing. How to ask for the close, how to effectively get the close, and how to use all these tools that we taught in that segment to get to a yes, right? And how to continue, even if it's not a yes, it's a not right now, how to continue planting seeds and really working on harvesting those seeds and getting to the close. We talked last week, which happened to fall on the first week of the month, about helping new distributors, how we get people started right. And this is the entire circle really of what we do, the 7 skills of what we do in this business. And so this week we're talking about promoting events. How absolutely apropos, because we're starting a new year and we have a lot to promote this year. So why promote events, what events we promote, how you can promote events, and really wrapping it all up into the most important thing is really, to me, the why. So these are the different events that we have coming up. Of course, I just talked about Spotlight 18 this weekend. You guys, you can't miss it. What a better way to launch your year than to get your year started right, hearing about all the new announcements will be addressed by Jeff Olson. You guys, the content is insane. It's good. It is stuff you have never seen before. It's training you can't get anywhere else. And it's absolutely amazing. We have, of course, Nerium University, and we promote to Nerium University. Why? Why do we do that? Well, obviously for training, ongoing training, right? You come and you see the content from Nerium University. You get to learn about from the top trainers, from the best in our industry, from the $1 million income earners here at Nerium. You get to learn what they did, and each week it's a different topic. And then of course you take it out and you take that learned knowledge and you get to apply it into the activity knowledge every single week. Really, really important. I don't miss them. Still 6 years in the business. If I don't see it that night, Monday night, I go back and I watch it. And a lot of times in the middle of the day when I first get the alert, I'll go watch that Nerium University, because as a leader, not only do I want to be at the forefront of all the announcements, I want to know what's going on. I never want someone on my team to come tell me what's happening. I want to know what's happening. But not only that, but I constantly want to hone my skills, right? And as leaders, if you're on here today, you're on here because you are a leader. You want to hone your skills. You want to hone your craft. You someday want to become the leader. You someday or the trainer. You someday want to take that learned knowledge, which then you've applied with the activity knowledge, and you want to someday train, right? With your own cool backdrop behind you. We have market parties, right? We promote these events. We promote our local market party. We promote these events for several reasons, guys. We don't just promote these events. Obviously, we promote to our potential prospects, right? We promote to them, but we promote these also to our team, to our brand partners, because the biggest thing that you have to have in this business is belief. And where do you get it? You get that belief by coming, by plugging in, by being in person, by wrapping your arms around another brand partner, by getting a hug and hearing a kudos and an attagirl or an attaboy. And you get it by the culture of what we have here. But every single week, we're resold on the dream of Nerium when we promote or when we come to these market party events. There's that saying, either you need the event or the event needs you. And really, it is absolutely 100% both. Those of you that know me know I don't miss events. I just don't. From the very first time I got started in this business, I just made a conscious decision, an intentional decision to be there no matter what. No matter who was coming or who wasn't coming, I was going with or without you. And it has served me immensely in my business. Obviously, we're promoting to the regional trainings. You know, I think it's so interesting. I'm such a student of network marketing, and the top income earners. I've had the chance to be around some of the biggest, baddest network marketing professionals in this industry. Some of you know, if you've been on my Zooms, I was talking recently about going to Eric Worre's 7-figure income earners summit, and you know his events have 10,000 or more people in these events. This particular event had only 80 people from all over the world, the biggest, the baddest, the best network marketers in the world. There was a couple there from Dubai. They both are in the same business. They're married. Their company allows them to have 2 positions, and each of them was making more than 7 figures annually, more than $1 million a year. And it was amazing. And they actually moved to Dubai because there are 0 taxes in Dubai. Both of them were from Europe, and they chose to move to Dubai for that reason. But it was, you guys, to hear them talk about promoting events, it was mind-blowing. I'm like, yes, exactly. Every single top income earner in that room was a master promoter. And so I just love the reinforcement that I get from other leaders in other companies that I know they're doing the very same things we're doing, and it's critically important. So, you know, if you think about it for a second, you know, I say it's not only me talking to you about why you need to go to events, but it's me also training you on becoming really good at closing your team on why they need to come to events, right? And so we talked about the close, you know, last week and our 2 weeks ago, we talked about closing our prospects, but this business is also about moving your team in the direction of for their success, right? But also that creates duplication. And this whole business is about duplicating. You're either going to duplicate right or you're going to duplicate wrong. And it starts 100% with you, right? If you don't go, they don't go. If you don't buy your ticket early, they don't buy their ticket early. Every single one of us needs to come and needs to go to these events. But I think it's really interesting that, you know, if somebody were to say to you, gosh, you know, I'm committed, I am just 100% committed to becoming a doctor. But then they said to you in the same breath, but oh yeah, but I'm not going to med school. You would think they were crazy. You would think they were absolutely ludicrous, right? And in this business, we have the ability to make way more than a doctor could ever make with a heck of a lot more freedom, right? If a doctor doesn't show up, he doesn't get paid. But we have something that's huge. As a matter of fact, this industry is so incredibly forgiving. It is the most incredibly forgiving business in the world, because if you have people that are auto shipping every month and you don't do anything, guess what? They're still auto shipping. They're still buying the products because they love them. And we don't realize what a huge gift it is that we have in this business. It's incredibly resilient and incredibly forgiving, but you can't forget about it either, because it is a business that we always have to attend to. It is a business in the end, right? So same with a lawyer, right? This business, you know, what if I told you that I just went out and spent over $1 million on a McDonald's franchise, right? What if I spent $1 million on a McDonald's franchise, but I didn't go to Hamburger University, right? That's how you get trained at McDonald's as a franchisee, right? You have to go to Hamburger U, they call it Hamburger University, and that's where you get trained on how to run your franchise. All the while, the franchisor has their hands in your pocket, taking some percentage from that franchise, right? We don't have that either, but don't you think it would be a little crazy if you didn't do that? And so in talking to your brand partners, in promoting these events, use some of those analogies, you know, because I know that the very best thing for somebody is to get to an event where, while I'm working with closing a prospective brand partner, I am not going to convince, because if I have to convince them to come in, then I have to convince them to go to work, right? I want that process to happen a little, you know, at the end. I will work to get them closed because I know they're ready to close and come in the business. But with my brand partners, I absolutely will convince every single one of them to attend these events, because I know how powerful they are. I know how powerful they've been for me. I wouldn't be making the kind of income I make and having the big team that I have if I didn't attend these events, even when I didn't want to. Do you think there's sometimes when I'd rather sit on the sofa at home with my husband and have a glass of wine and enjoy, you know, some silly TV show? Yeah. You know, there's nights when there's other things I'd rather do, but I'm committed to this business. Just like becoming a doctor, just like becoming an attorney, just by like owning a franchise, it should be $500 to get into this business and $50,000 to get out, because we get out long before the magic happens and we don't take it seriously. So these events are so incredibly important. In promoting the event, let's talk about how you promote each of these events. When we're promoting these events, like to our brand partners and even to our prospective customers and brand partners, right? Like for a market party, we want to promote the speaker. We want to say, oh my gosh, you've got to come hear the speaker. And we're going to promote the speaker the same way as we're going to take into consideration the way that we talk to the color of the personality type, right? So we might promote saying to somebody who's a blue or very analytical personality type, we might say, oh my gosh, you've got to come out and hear Teresa Wallbrant. She knows 100% of the facts. You're going to get a lot of these statistics and facts I know that you're looking for. I know you're really analytical. I know that all of the information is really important to you, and she's got all the information. If it's somebody that likes to have a lot of fun, oh my gosh, we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a glass of wine. You're going to love these people. It's amazing. You're going to love it, right? So we're going to promote these events to our guests that way, but to our brand partners, we're also going to say, listen, you need to come. This, guys, market parties is where I learned so much about this business and so much of what I did. It's really where I went to build my belief. And really, guys, momentum, hear me, because this is going to be one of the most important things I say in this quick segment that we have. Momentum is created through belief, and activity follows motivation. So when you believe that you believe that you believe, and you know that you know that you know that you've got the best products, the best system, the best management, the best company in the whole world, the best business in the world, people will follow you. It is so powerful, that energy that you have when you believe that you believe that you believe, and what you do proves what you believe. Write that down. What you do proves what you believe. If you get started in this business and you start to talk a little bit about Nerium on Facebook, or you maybe post a before and after picture. By the way, don't be yucky and do that all the time. A little bit here and there is all you need. And you start to create curiosity, and you stop a couple minutes later, right? You're new in the business. Your friends are looking at at you like, oh yeah, I knew she was never going to last. Oh, I knew that business wasn't going to work. What you do really shows how much you believe. And what it proves it. It proves it to the people that you're with. When you attend that market party every single week, when you never miss a Nerium University, and when you never miss a national convention, and you show up to the Epic Bash, you are proving to your team what you believe. You're proving it. You're proving to your leaders that, hey, I'm here, work with me, I want this. That was a big thing for me. I wanted to prove to my sponsor, my mentor, who gave me the biggest, baddest, greatest start in this business, that I wanted it, that I was worthy of his time. I wanted to prove that. I wanted to stay steady. And this is really a big part of this business. You know, I always say, you know, in the beginning, show up and be fabulous. That saying came from, I asked a leader many years ago, I said, what would you do? I'm just getting started in this business. What would you do if you were me right now? What's the biggest tip that you could tell me? And they said, you know what? Show up, get excited, pay attention, and be a joy to work with. And he said, that right there will serve you more than anything. And I took that to heart. And that's exactly where Show Up and Be Fabulous came from, was that. So in these trainings, all of these so important trainings and events, so important. It's really what is there to build your belief. Staying steady proves that you believe. Showing up proves that you believe. Duplication is what does all of the work for you. So if you desire to build a big team, leaders never, ever, ever miss. Ever. And as a leader, I don't miss. I don't miss anything. I don't miss whether I think 5 people on my team are coming or nobody on my team's coming, whether I have a guest or I don't have a guest. I never, ever miss. So I'm going to give you a couple little tidbits here on this too. So when it comes to events, there's, for every event, and you probably don't think about this, this might only be a subconscious thought, but for every single event, there's a pre-event, there's the event, and there's a post-event. So I'm going to bring some of this to your forefront, okay, to the forefront of your mind. So when the pre-event, register early for all of these events. Get your Spotlight ticket before it sells out. I've had call after call, text after text. The Spotlight that we're doing up in Northern California is sold out. It is actually oversold. If the fire marshal comes in there, we're probably going to get shut down. And people sometimes don't take that seriously. But if you get your ticket early, you have an opportunity to actually promote the event longer because you got involved sooner, right? So make sure that you get your ticket early. So the pre-event starts with you getting your ticket early. The pre-event also starts with planning that pre-event. So when you're going, for example, to the Epic Bash, or when you're going to the national conference, when you're on your way to a market party, it's little tiny things. Pre-event, what am I thinking about? Who's coming? What brand partners are going to be there? Did I do a great job of calling through my team and saying, hey, you're coming tonight, right? Who else is coming to that market party? Because people know how much you love them when you pick up the phone and call them. So there's a pre-event always in everything that you do. Before you come to an RRP, there's a pre-event. Who's coming, right? Who's been invited? Talking to the leader that's having it if you're the person that's being the expert, right? There's the pre-event. There's also the pre-event that happens that you don't even think about. The pre-event also starts with obviously pre-planning what the event's going to look like, maybe getting together with your team at the bash, maybe having a little, coffee meetings and a meeting in your room and those kinds of things, those pre-event things, planning for the post-event, like what you're going to do coming out of the conference, what you're going to do coming out of Spotlight, right? What you're going to do. Those things are extremely important. But when it comes to planning events, or pre-events, and yeah, pre-events is we don't think about the prospecting that happens, because every single person at that conference that's working that conference is watching us with that tag around our neck. And I guarantee you, I've gone up to them before and said, hey, are you curious about what we're doing here? Has anyone talked to you? And I might be the second day into the conference and nobody has even talked to them. The pre-event starts on the plane. The people that you can prospect on the plane, it's amazing, right? And I'm seeing some of you guys nodding right now because you know what I'm talking about. You want to expand your distribution. You want to grow a big business. You want to have someday a huge international business. This is how you do it, right? Because somebody on the way to Dallas on the plane knows somebody in New York who knows somebody in Munich who knows somebody in Seoul. It's crazy how my business has grown. I didn't know anybody in all these countries, but yet I got a big team all over the place. Right? So this little things like the pre-event that we don't even think about during the event, right? What are you doing during the event? Who are you going to talk to while you're there? Some of these big conferences, right? Are you going to have a little breakout session in your room? And you guys, these are inexpensive. Just have a small group of your team up to your room, you know, open a bottle of champagne and celebrate, have some snacks up there. It's really easy to do. It doesn't have to be a big elaborate thing, but we want to really make sure that you're taking advantage of every single event that we do, from the pre-event of planning, from during the event, being front and center, taking notes. You've already, before the event, started to think about the post-event. And during the event at, let's just say, a market party, because you're not thinking of this as an event, but it is. During that event at the market party, I'm thinking, okay, who are the guests here? Who brought a guest? Who do I need to talk to? Who needs some love? As a leader, I'm considering everything in my environment. And these market parties are so important because that's where people show up to go up. This is where people are resold again on the dream. This is where we build the culture. This is where we promote the next event. So Spotlight this weekend, be thinking the pre-event, on the way to the event. Who's coming to the event with me? What am I doing? I'm being intentional about who I need to see. I'm loving on the people I need to love on. I'm introducing people to people, creating a bigger culture that's surrounding me. And I'm acting like a leader. I have my hat in the ring. I know what I'm doing. And if you're new and you're just building a team and you're here for the first time, you know what? We're putting our arms around you. We would love you. You have made the best decision in your whole life by being part of this culture, because you're going to see, just show up. You don't have to worry about all this leader talk I'm talking about right now. But I know a lot of you guys are on here and you are leaders and you want this. And I know because we have a packed Zoom. Hopefully everybody could get on that wanted to get on. I'm going to leave you just with a couple quick things here as I share my screen again. Spotlight this week. I'm going to see so many of you guys there. Can't wait to see you. And those of you who I won't see in person, just know that I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I am absolutely loving on you. And I cannot tell you enough how important it is to get your room for the epic event. Volunteer for that if you feel so inclined. If you have anyone on your team that might want to volunteer, we need lots of hands for that too. So let me just share my screen really quick because I want to go back here and I just want to share a couple quick things, and I have a video for us I want to play you guys. It's a short video, but it's very powerful, and I think it's a great way to kind of close us out today. So bear with me because I want to show you this, which is just so important. On the other side of not wanting to do something is everything you've always wanted. And every single time I think to myself, oh, well, I don't really feel like picking up the phone, or I feel the same thing you guys feel. I'm no different than anybody else. I just master the head game on a daily basis. And every single day I say to myself, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And so I love this because every single thing you've always wanted is on the other side of that. I'm going to stop the share real quick and I'm going to go back and share a different screen with you so I can share this video. This is just a powerful video, and I was so moved and so inspired by it, and I hope that it inspires and motivates you the same way that it did me. So let me go ahead and share that screen for you guys now. Let me make sure that my audio is enabled. There we go. Gosh, I'm getting really techie, you guys. Okay. So, okay, there it is. Oops, one sec.
In 1977, I met a French chef. He said to me, cooks cook.
Failure, by definition, a lack of success. The definition of success, the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. According to these very guidelines, failing is to be marching toward an end point and for one reason or another, not getting there. Is failure a possibility? Of course it is. There are no definites in life. But failure is also self-induced. It is not an outside occurrence. It's not a coin flip or an event that we helplessly watch unfold before us. It's not up to chance. Failure is a decision. The decision to end that same march that you once started. Just like putting on your shoes is a decision. Just like traveling or running or eating, these are decisions that we make. And when the word is all too frequently brought up in everyday conversation, what's evident is that there is a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to quote-unquote fail. It's spoken about as though it's something that's projected onto us, as though failure is an illness or catastrophic event, something that emerges and subdues its victims. And speaking of it in such a way misdiagnoses the problem. It's easy to say, so-and-so started a business and it failed. So-and-so didn't make the team, so they failed. But there's more here. One does not fail until they take a step back, look at the situation, and say that it's no longer worth it anymore. You don't fail until the moment you raise the white flag and say, I cannot do this. Because if you're out there, if you're changing, adapting, stretching yourself and your abilities, if you're seeking help, mentors, learning, growing, embracing the struggle, being relentless in your effort, no one can bring that word into the conversation. It cannot exist. If you are moving forward, you are not failing. You cannot be working towards something and failing at the same time. It is impossible. You can have your ups and downs. No one will refute that. You can get knocked on your ass, have moments of fear and doubt, but that is growth, not failure. Growth is taking the uncomfortable and adapting to it. Overcoming the obstacles that inevitably get in your way. Failure, on the other hand, is deciding that growth is no longer worth the sweat. Because I'll tell you what, there's always a way to win, and I truly believe that. Sometimes the cost is extreme, sometimes the price is more than everyone around you is willing to pay, but that's a conversation that you need to have with yourself. Just know that if you want it, somewhere there exists a solution, and knowing that is the beginning of greatness. It is the start of success. And as for that question, what if I fail? Here's some insight. That thought is wasted time and it is wasted energy, because as far as your goals go, you pull the strings. You are the writer, you are the director, and you are the actor. Failure only occurs when you write it into your script, when you choose it for an ending. And it is one ending, one of many. It is one approach of many. Once you've started that march towards what's important to you, do not let failure be the choice that you make. Choose growth. Choose the adventure. Choose the long way home. Victory over defeat, the uphill climb over regret. Choose to move forward when most wouldn't. It's the decision you'll always be thankful you made.
Wowza. Amazing. Listen, everybody, I just want to encourage you. I just want to let you know how much I love you. I care about every single one of you guys. I know we've gone a little bit over our 30-minute quota for the day, but I just want to encourage you, go out there, make it a great day, get registered for these events. Definitely, I'm going to see most of you guys or some of you guys at Spotlight, and I just adore you. I'm getting chats here. It's so distracting because I'm reading the questions while I'm talking, but I just adore you guys. Go out and make it a great day. See you next Tuesday. The video will be up on YouTube in just a little bit here if you want to share it with anybody. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. We love you.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
So much. See you.
Love you.
Anna.
Thank
Thank you so much, Anna. Amazing as
Thank
always.
you, Anna.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.